most amazing artist, and welcome to a brand new project. This project is called Robin's Egg Bird Nest. So today is the first day of this project, like I just said, and we are going to do the background today. And for our background, we're going to use a variety of earth tones, and I'm super excited to create this with you guys. For this part of our project today, all you will need is some tempera paint. I'll be using tempera paint, but guess what? You don't have to. If you don't have any paint at home, you can use markers, crayons, or colored pencils, anything you have. If you are painting, you will just need a paintbrush, possibly a messy mat. That's just a big piece of paper to lie under your work so we don't get paint all over our table. And to clean my paintbrush, I like to use a little cup of water and a sponge, but a paper towel will do the same job. I am super excited to create this earth tone background with you guys, but before we get started, let's go ahead and say our class mantra all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. My mantra: I am positive, I am creative, I am mindful, I am amazing, I am an artist. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, artists, this is a brand new piece of paper. So, of course, the first thing we have to do is write our name. So I'm just gonna write my name, and bonus points if you put your class code. I'm gonna flip it over, so now my name is on the back. We do not want to paint on the same side as our name because then we're just going to cover it up. And then we might get it mixed up with someone else's painting. So it's always a good idea to have your name on the back. Once your name is on the back, you are ready to start painting. So I just have a nice brand new piece of paper and I've cut it into a square. This is 9 inches by 9 inches. So you can do whatever size you want to. And I'm just going to go ahead and carefully open up my water. And I'm going to put it back in that metal tin. We want to keep our water in the metal tin because if it does happen to spill, at least it will spill onto SpongeBob and in this metal container, and it won't spill all over our paper. Okay, and I'm also going to make sure that this is not anywhere near the edge of my desk. It's very close to me, so I know it's not going to fall off of my desk. Same for our paint. Okay, we need to be very careful with this because if this was to fall on the ground, oh my goodness, we would have a rainbow of a mess on the floor. So let's do our best to keep it away from the edge of your table. All right, and we have a beautiful paintbrush here. Look how pretty that hairstyle is. We want to keep it as straight as possible, so we're going to take care of our paintbrush today. Remember, our paintbrush is like a ballerina. She likes to dance up on her tippy toes, not be squashed like this, but she likes to dance and glide across the paper nice and gently. So that is how we're going to take care of her. So the first thing that we are going to do is we need to think for a second because we are creating earth tones, okay? And to create an earth tone for our bird's nest background, we are going to use a lot of brown. To make an earth tone, you just need to mix brown with any other color. The main color is still brown though. So our paper is going to look very brown, but it's going to have a variety of different earth tones because we're going to mix brown with all of our different colors here and see what we can make with it. Okay, today is all about experimenting with what kinds of earth tones you can make. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some brown. Okay, just going to dip my paintbrush in some brown paint, and I want to do circular motions around my paper because we are making a bird's nest, and if you look at a real bird's nest, it's very circular. This is going to be the background of our bird's nest, but we still want to keep it very circular. So with my paintbrush on our tippy toes, I am just doing some circular motions all across my paper. Now, before this paint dries, before this brown paint dries, I am just going to draw an X in my water and draw an X on dirty old SpongeBob because I want to mix another color with my brown to create an earth tone. And I think I'll just choose this one right here because it's closest to me. And to mix it, I'm just going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on all these different areas where I've already put brown. Okay, by going back and forth on the same area, we are blending those colors together. And as you can see, It doesn't change our brown color too much because orange is very similar to brown in color, but it does make it a brighter earth tone, okay? So now I'm gonna clean my paintbrush again, drawing an X in dirty old, what do we call this one again? Is this Squidward or Patrick? I can't remember. I think this one's Patrick. So draw an X in the Patrick water cup, I guess if you wanna call it that, and dirty old SpongeBob. And my paintbrush is now nice and clean. Remember, you need to clean your paintbrush before getting a new color because we do not want to mix our colors inside of this paint palette. That we want to keep them nice and clean, okay? We're only mixing paint on our paper. So I did brown and orange to create an earth tone. Now I'm going to pick up some more brown because I want to do a different earth tone. Notice my curves are very small in the middle of my paper and they get bigger and wider as I go out towards the edges of my paper. So I'm just doing small little curves in the middle and they get bigger and bigger and bigger as they go out towards the edges. Okay, so we're just doing circular motions with our brown paint right now. And I think I'm ready to clean my paintbrush. Draw an X in Patrick, draw an X on SpongeBob, and we are going to choose another color. Remember, we need to do this quick because if our brown paint dries, then it's not going to mix with our other color to make our earth tone. So we got to choose fast. I think I want to do purple. Let's try purple. Let's see what he does. Ooh, that makes a cool earth tone. I'm still doing those curvy lines, and in the center, they're very tiny, and as they get out towards the edges, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Ooh, very nice. So that kind of makes a darker earth tone, doesn't it? Wow, that's so pretty. I really like it. All right, still going back and forth to mix those colors together, okay? Because we don't want to see just purple on our paper. We want our colors to be mixed with our browns, and to do that, we just need to go back and forth on our paper to mix those colors together. If you want, you also have an option to add some white if you want to brighten up some areas. So I think I want to brighten up the inside of my bird's nest right here. So I'm just going to add some white, and I'm just doing short little curves all the way throughout my bird's nest. Okay, to blend that white in, just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with our curve shapes that we're doing with our paintbrush. The more that you go over it, the better your paint will blend. However, if your paint is dry, my friends, like out here, it's very dry, so it's not going to blend with the colors that I put in there, okay? Your paint has to be wet for it to mix. Very good. All right, so I added some white in there, but I think I want to try a different earth tone. So I am going to clean my paintbrush, and to start a new earth tone, we're going to start with brown. And I want to go into these white spots because we don't want any of that paper showing through. We're going to cover up all of those spaces. And I'm still going in a circular motion all the way out to the edges of my paper, focusing on covering those white areas. Very good. As you can see, it's kind of giving our paper some texture, like the texture of an actual bird's nest. And did you guys know? Texture is also an element of art that you can use in your artwork. And we are adding texture by going back and forth and making those really beautiful brush strokes that you see happening right there in the center. All right, now I want to make a new earth tone. I already put my brown down, so now I can choose a new color to add. Let's see what red looks like. I'm interested to see what red and brown make. Ooh, oh my gosh, I actually really love that. That looks gorgeous. And I'm still going back and forth to mix it in. Back and forth, but I'm not pressing down on my paintbrush. She's still gliding across the paper beautifully. And honestly, I think that white really made our painting pop, so I'm gonna add some more white around the outside edges, and that looks really beautiful. So I am just going back and forth, adding a little bit more white here and there to give our bird's nest some brighter areas. Notice how I'm going all the way even out to all the corners. My paper keeps wanting to move around, but I'm just going to push him right back where I want him to go. And right now, this is looking pretty good. I love that I can see all of my brush strokes in there, but I want to add some more color, so that's what I'm going to do. And when I'm going to do that is I'm going to clean my paintbrush, and I'm going to grab some more brown, because we always start with brown when we make an earth tone. And I still see a little bit of that paper showing through, so I'm going to try to cover that up. And to make a new earth tone, I'm just going to clean my paintbrush before I get a new color. And let's see what blue does whenever we add it to brown. Let's see what blue does. Ooh, that makes it really a darker earth tone, doesn't it? Wow, I kind of love that. That looks gorgeous. But I still want these colors to blend together, so I'm just going back and forth in a circular motion. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to make sure all of my colors are blending together. Let's add some more blue over here. I'm actually just using my little finger down here, and I'm holding this corner down to make sure my paper doesn't move around too much. It still wants to move, but it's okay. Just go with the flow. That's what painting's all about. I'm really happy that I added that blue in there, because I think that is a beautiful earth tone. Blue and brown make a gorgeous, darker earth tone. All right, let's try another color. I'm gonna add some more brown over here. So I'm just going to keep on adding more earth tones, starting with brown first, adding a new color to it. Remember, to make an earth tone, you don't want to mix all of these colors together. We want to do one color at a time. So first brown, then one other color. You might want to add some white in there to make some brighter areas if you want to. And then you need to clean your paintbrush, get more brown to make a different earth tones. We already did skin tones, didn't we? So Miss M is gonna go ahead and finish up her background, and I'll be right back to show you what mine looks like. Here is my final earth tone painting for the background of my robin's egg bird nest. As you can see, I'm a big fan of white because I think it makes your painting really pop out. So whenever you finish mixing all of your earth tones, I definitely recommend going in there and just using your paintbrush in those curvy brush strokes, still going in a circular motion, tinier in the middle, and as you go out they get bigger, just with white all the way around your painting. You can do this same exact thing with crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything you have. Just start with brown first, then add other colors, all in a circular motion, possibly adding white too to make some really brighter areas to make our painting pop a little bit more. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun learning all about earth tones and how to mix them with paint. And being able to use expressive brush strokes just all across your paper, mixing those colors together to create this beautiful background. I can't wait to see how yours turn out. I know they're going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.